Studio Live 2020 GSL Season 3 Codes Last Stand.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be a PvZ up next here. Zoun versus soO. Zoun he's our newest player, right? Out of all the new players.
No, well, not really, to be honest. Like, Prince was probably our newest player.
Never mind.
Zoun was he played like Pro League match way back. Like, this guy was like a pro before and then went to military and everything, but he never made it into GSL until last season. That was his first GSL Code S appearance.
He's definitely an underdog compared to a lot of these other players. Very good.
Yeah.
One thing about GSL is that just under the surface of the top 24 are many really good players that you just don't see that often. And this is one of these moments where he's bubbled up to the top. He's in a GSL, but he's up against soO.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see soO not dominate in the first round of the tournament.
Yeah.
As you see the most second places of anyone ever. Yeah, I mean, I definitely expect soO to advance here, but I'm hoping that Zoun brings something a little bit new, a little bit fresh.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it here. We're going to go to Everdream for Game 1. Again, Protosses are having a hard time against Zerg. We're seeing Protosses try every play in the book to take down Zergs, but some of these Zergs, especially the ones of soO's level, seem to be able to shut it down no matter what. Anyways, Game 1's loaded up here. We'll be on Everdream. Let's go.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께일 때 우린 더욱 강하다. 알파 X, 조운, 박한솔. 아프리카 프린스, 수, 어윤수.
So let's see what Zoun is going to be doing this game.
Well, he already forced soO to take the third base.
And this can be, this can be a setup where you try to do a little bit of harass with the Adept and try to slow down.
Adept and Oracle are the two common follow-ups to blocking the hatch, but they don't. It doesn't have to be that.
Right.
Some decent mineral patch harassment here.
In the history of PvZ and Legacy was, Adepts were sort of the control unit to try to slow the Zerg from progressing too much. You didn't have to go for, Adept timings, but they were pretty popular. But it seems like with every passing month, they're getting more and more mapped out. We saw SOS actually do a lot of pretty big brain moves that did not end up panning out well in PvZ, but you could see there was a lot of originality with it. So yeah, I don't know. I think right now in StarCraft 2, there's a little bit of soul searching for how to handle this matchup, how to come out on top and win. Especially, I should say, not just
soul searching. I like it.
Yeah, not just in a game, but in a series.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason why we don't do best of ones in this game is because, sure, you could always pull off some trick and beat him, but can you do it multiple times on different maps?
Yeah. StarCraft 2 definitely requires minimum best of 3 to try to figure things out. Best of 1s in StarCraft 2 are like silly.
No, there's like no point. You have to have more than one game. So, yeah, I mean, we're basically waiting to see when and if the Protoss players can really have an answer to this matchup that can just stop Zergs over and over and over and over again. Because right now it seems like in the meta there's been survival techniques, if I could call it that, for PvZ, where you can kind of do this against the Zergs now, but the Zergs will catch up. They will figure out how to stop it, and they will continue to dominate.
Well, we've seen more people trying some of the late game sky toss type stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'd like to see more of it, to be honest. I think it is doable. I think you can go Sky Toss and have a good late game against Zerg right now. But there's like a wide range. It's almost like a lot of this, there's no normalized way to play Sky Toss against Zerg at the moment, in my opinion. Like, every time we see Sky Toss, it's kind of like watching Terran Mech against Protoss, where everyone's got their own flavor, and it's like not really mapped out. So if you're playing against it, you're like, well, I don't know. He could make any of the 3 air units, you know, and like, we don't know what's going to be underneath them. Is there going to be a mothership? You know, there's all these questions, so it's not really super duper mapped out. Look at this though. Oh my God. Before I go any further, we have the Sport Bay, man.
Yeah, so this is another different type of approach to this matchup. And this is Zoun saying, all right, here's my take. I'm going to get a Disruptor right away. Kind of looks like one of these StarCraft 1 quick Reaver drop builds.
Yeah, yeah. Speed Disruptor drops are kind of neat. We normally see them transition into like a Colossus timing attack with a bunch of gateway units, so we'll see if that's what he goes for. But this is the type of thing I want to see out of Zoun if he's going to have a chance to actually beat soO.
Yeah, I was more worried we just see Glaive to Depths to get stopped than he loses, so this is much, much better.
Yeah, you want to have it be something that they don't play against quite as much.
Oh, man, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, that
might lose that before he, the War Prism speed finishes. So, a pretty modest harass starting the game out, and the War Prism's headed back now. But I think with the Disruptor coming out, that's where we're going to see how much damage this can do. But with the War Prism at you know, a little bit under half health, you've got to be very careful, because this is one of these strats where if you just lose the War Prism, especially with the Disruptor and the Immortal inside of it, like when you're trying to get away, for instance, you're probably just going to lose the game.
Oh, yes. You cannot lose that. Let's see what this does, though, right? He has his speed upgrade done, so he should not lose it. You have to really dive to lose this.
Oh! That actually could have been so much better.
Yeah, it was a decent split there by soO, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really well done. I thought that was going to connect on all the lings. Very cool.
Colossus being made at home right now. Sentry's being added in as well. So definitely Zoun is looking towards that timing attack we were talking about. Needs to get a little bit more done with these Disruptors, though, right?
Yeah, they're coming through now. And you're kind of seeing that trying to harass with these units can always be a little bit clunky.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things, and this is modeled off of StarCraft 1 Reaver drops, by the way, but the thing about the Reaver is you can fire the Scarab and then pick it up and get out.
Yeah, that's a good
As
point.
the Scarab is traveling. With this, the Disruptor has to be on the ground at the same time the shot is coming out. And so it's a little bit harder to kind of pull off.
To be fair, they don't dud, right? So that's something.
Yeah, the StarCraft 1 one's dud all the time.
Okay, let's see how this push goes. I mean, it's a pretty strong little unit composition that we see, right?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, with the 2 Disruptors, we got to really watch and see where those shots land. The 1 Colossus is going to make it hard for the Zerg to try to hold any fight here. Guardian Shield's down. Here we go. Corrosive Biles connecting with some of the targets here. Now, Lings are going to come in here from behind. We just have a shot of this in the bottom left corner of the screen. And so he's going to hit from every side right now.
Oh, he needs to set off a Disruptor shot here. Those should be recharged. Okay, there they are. It just come off of the cooldown. Okay, decent hit.
Nice connects there. The Colossus is still alive. I got to say, Zoun is doing about as good as a job as you can in a moment like this. The Immortal's still in the game.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to break soO here? I think he might.
He very well might. I mean, this is great. As long as he continues to warp in and hits a couple more Disruptor shots, I think he's very close to breaking him now.
Colossus still in play right now at about a third of its HP.
Oh, got to keep that alive. Micros it back from that Spore. All right, another. Ooh, okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Just right on the Morphine Ravager. He tries to come in, maybe get on top of the Colossus, but another Disruptor shot connects.
Okay, the Colossus almost dead right now. Drone's being pulled. That's when you know soO is really scared.
God, Colossus won't die!
No.
Okay, finally, actually losing it to a Bile shot here. But again, an Immortal at full health. Drone's being gunned down, 9 so far.
Yeah, crazy damage being put out at the moment.
I think Zoun's going to win.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. The Drone's fighting once again, losing a lot of them here.
queens are continuing to be picked off here. More stalkers coming in. The Warp Prism advancing to warp in a little bit more quickly. Got to be careful. I guess there's not actually enough Ravagers to ever take out the Warp Prism, so he's going to be fine.
You got to be careful with the Ravagers too, because those are prime targets for the Disruptors.
Yeah, they cannot get away from Disruptor shots if the Protoss player controls correctly. Now Overlords are being picked off, and
Oh, he's lost so much.
I think that this game should be over unless Zoun really miscontrols. I just don't imagine this being a win. You know, I mean, I don't see how Zerg comes back from this.
Yeah, it's very, very tough. Like, he needs to kill the army, first up. Zoun doesn't have a lot going on at home, right? But
GG.
Definitely
that was
not needed.
That was a good strat.
Yeah, no, that was...
I really like what we saw there.
It's good. It's a cool strat to mix in, right? Because you have that early harassment that could do something. And the thing is, you want the Disruptors with the army. The Colossus does a good job of kind of countering Zerglings, right? And then the Disruptors are good against Roaches, Queens, and Ravagers. So it just... The strategy fits together neatly. The one thing that is happening is you don't have any upgrades.
Right.
So,
You've
like, if the push doesn't work, you're done.
Yeah,
like,
if the push is stopped, you're back knocked into the Stone Age there.
You lose all your technicality, and that's it.
That was a great play there. A very strong push, not having to try to hinge a strategy on Adepts catching drones early on. I think that's just too much of an old way to play the game. Zoun has Immortals to Adepts, and then the double Disruptor to set up for a push. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen now in Eternal Empire, which is loaded up just now.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 알파 X, 조운, 박한솔. 아프리카 프린스, 수, 어윤수.
Okay. Bit later scout here, so not really looking to block any hatchery.
I don't feel like Zoun can do the same build again.
No, you can't do that twice.
Yeah, and I want to unpack that a little bit because that can be kind of confusing. Like if you watch Innovation's games like the ones he just played, even he sort of did the same build over and over and pushed it and won.
Yeah.
The Protoss push is totally different.
Yeah, Protoss just in general against Zerg right now can't do the same thing every game.
Yeah, you can't push and progress your development like back at home, like upgrades and tech.
Yes.
It seems like Protoss have to turtle in tech.
Yeah, if there's ever a build that doesn't transition into later game things that it is good to do many times in a row, that means that the game is in a broken state, basically.
Right.
Because your opponent should be able to fight off things and kind of push things back, push the game forward, right? That's normal StarCraft. It's kind of like a tennis volley, right? Where it's like, okay, you're making moves at each other, but it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. You know, like, oh, now I have this, and you're like, okay, well, now I'll get this, and then they're like, well, now I have to get this. And so, yeah, if you have a strat like that one we just saw, where you're like, okay, I get 5 technical units and spam gateway units, I have no Forge, I have no Twilight, I'm only on 2 bases with 45 probes the entire game. Yeah, that's not something that you can really do multiple times.
Yeah.
And if it, like I was saying, if it was, it would be because it's like really broken. Like back, remember the Soul Train?
I was about to bring this up. I was waiting for you to finish and say this.
That was like a broken Protoss strategy. That was like parting one like every. He went like 50-0 or something. I don't remember what the stats were, but he won every game with it.
The attack is going to come, and there's almost nothing you can do to stop it. And if he controls it perfectly, you just get toppled.
Yeah, so that's a broken situation. This build that we saw from Zoun, absolutely not a broken situation. It's a cool thing to mix in.
Yeah. And so, for this game, we do have the Robo coming down here again. I would imagine, and I mean, I might be wrong, but I would imagine there's probably different variants of this build or different ideas that can be done. You know, you can, it's not so straightforward as I'm just going to do this kind of time and attack and do a push with it. You know, there's a lot of different setups there. For instance, in that last one we saw, you get the disruptors out. If you can connect on some drones, or let's say kill a queen or anything, right? To kill the units that are trying to defend, you're only going to reinforce how strong your push is later. And, you know, there really is a balancing act. It can look very easy for the Zergs if you're just watching and you don't have the experience of trying to do the drone balance while still holding off attacks. But you make a few small mistakes in a small period of time, and you can lose the game. Now, in this game, we have Adept Glaives coming.
Yeah.
So it opens up with a Robo and a Warp Prism coming, but behind it is going to be more of the classical approach to this matchup, which was the Adept.
Yeah, this would be the more standard thing right now, and especially popular earlier in the year. But there's a lot of follow-ups to it. There's a lot of different ways you can play this. You can go more gates. The amount of adepts you make is up in the air. You can go for sentries and immortals behind with more gases for a 2-base timing push. You can go into a dark shrine to try to slip in dark templars. You can just go into a macro game on a 3rd base. So there's a lot to it that you have to decide about. And we'll see what Zoun is going to do, because at the beginning of the build order is pretty straightforward. You can't really tell. Okay, he adds 2 gases. So this looks like it will probably be a 2-base timing push.
Yeah, and actually a great save there by soO, transfusing at the last second. Glaives is canceled. Another warp in here. He's got to be careful. The Queens actually could start to hit the Warp Prism at this distance.
Yeah, that's what he's going for. He just wants to shut this down immediately instead.
Zoun with some great control, by the way.
Yeah, that was very,
that
very
juggle
nice.
was sick. And now these Queens can't quite get back here as quickly. I was going to say, if I was Zoun, I'd finish that shade. Now you can pick your fights pretty nicely here. You take the Lings out. He's going to shade again. Dive on the drones. Hey, this is going really well. soO might actually get killed here.
Yeah, it actually looks like he's going to.
Yeah.
This is very good for Zoun.
Oh, great play. And 3 Adepts over here, so he can one-shot drones there.
Oh my gosh, and behind this, he is actually going up into the support base. So we could see Disruptors again, we could see Colossus, and he's just doing so much damage. Whichever one he does is going to be a very strong follow-up.
Yeah, nothing even mining over here at the 3rd base. Oh wow, drones not even fully pulled away here, so a dozen drones have been killed, and it appears that Zoun is far from finished. More Adepts are warping in. I believe the Warp Prism is heading back home to pick up the Disruptor. Also, Warp Prism speed's being upgraded.
Yeah, Prism speed plus Disruptors coming out again. So definitely looks like something that he enjoys, but getting into it in a completely different way. Normally, you're not wanting to fight against Adepts with Lings, right? So if you know that they're going to go into Roach Ravager, Disruptors become quite good against that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool, novel way to approach this.
Willie commit over here. Oh, I like this. Just having the 2 Adepts come in, that's enough to at least kill 2 drones. In this case, actually 3. That way you're not losing the bulk of your Adepts, but you're still killing drones. You're still keeping the Zerg under the pressure to produce drones. Remaking drones, basically, over making any kind of fighting units. Now, this is really important down here because this counterattack is denying the 3rd base.
That's great. Stuff like that is so underrated. Like that Nexus, that was a lot of build time invested, and now he has to just restart it. Definitely not what Zoun wants to be seeing there, but good move from soO. Now the Speed Prism going across the map, full health, 2 Disruptors.
Yeah.
See what he gets done.
Oh, man, this shot is so good! Takes out 6 drones and gets out unscathed. And
really
from here,
nice.
Yeah, from here the Warp Prism can meet up with a push, or I guess not. It's actually okay. Yeah, it is. And then we got to see if Zerg can actually survive, because right now Zoun is coming here with these really advanced pushes, these really cool strats. And so far, I mean, a player like soO is struggling to adapt.
This is really interesting the way he's playing this. Oh my God!
Oh, so good.
Sick Disruptor hit. The unit's kind of coming over to fight against the Adepts, so he just drops off the Disruptors. Look at that, 3 more Roaches got in. Great control, nice multitasking here.
This is some of the best Disruptor play we've seen, particularly with a Warp Prism here.
Yeah, it really actually is. It really is. Zoun is getting me all excited here.
Yeah.
This is very cool stuff.
It's looking like the classic kind of a Dragoon Reaver push here, but really so effective. Again, coming through here, at this point in time, you take whatever you can get. And more drones, it's going to be 4 more drones killed off.
Dude, soO's drones don't look good, his army doesn't look good, his upgrades don't look good.
And keep in mind, though, this is different from game one in that the Protoss is trying to take a third and develop. The goal is not to push and kill the Zerg here. I mean, if you do get some insane disruptor hits and you could take the win, then do it. But really what he's doing is he's keeping Zerg squished. Zerg cannot get out of his base. Drones are constantly being killed.
Yeah, and look at this, just continues to throw down that damage as well. He's keeping soO a bit busy.
What I love about this is the fact that these areas that are hard for Protoss to push through, you know, because the Zerg can just stay on the other side of this very narrow bottleneck, he's using that with the disruptors.
Yeah.
So he has the disruptor on the other side, and suddenly the Zerg can't come over there and target down the disruptor. There's just nothing you can do. And so he's just taking a beating.
Yeah, he's chosen his strategy very well for the map, too. That's definitely a big part of it, right? If you try to go through that, he's just going to get a better disruptor hit. Now, Zoun looks like he's ready to move out. Looks like he's going to head towards that fourth base. His army actually just split up, but luckily for him, soO is not at all on the map. Dude, this push, I think he's going to kill soO.
Yeah, I think this...
Fairly sure.
This is set up beautifully, too. It's as the fourth is being taken. If the Zerg cancels, it's bad. If the fourth is killed, it's even worse. I mean, let's see how he does. As the units retreat, they do bunch up a little bit. One disruptor shot connects well, the other misses. But with two Colossi here, it's just going to be very hard to hold your ground here. It seems like there's more Protoss units than there are Zerg units right now in this fight.
Yeah, and it's almost all roaches over on soO's side. More Stalkers get warped in. Blink is done here. Baneling speed is on the way, but it doesn't matter because we don't have any Banelings yet. And another disruptor shot. Decent dodging from soO, but already a lot of damage has been done.
Yeah, and although these roaches can soak quite a bit, they're starting to disappear pretty quickly here every time the Colossus spray this down. And now we have a blink in over here. The Banelings trying it from behind do not really connect with their targets. And I think this is going to be a march to victory here from Zoun.
Definitely looks that way right now. It looks like is Zoun going up towards his third base, so it's a little bit of a, oh my God. Oh, that hit, that disruptor hit.
I love what we're seeing here from Zoun, this really novel approach to the matchup. Disruptor harass into Colossus Disruptor, push for the win.
Zoun very happy with himself, taking a 2-0 over soO and moving on to that winner's match. Not really expected, but an amazing result.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. And he is not hiding his excitement. soO definitely going to be salty from that. We're going to have to see how soO does in the losers match, but this is just a real plot twist in the day. I thought, frankly, it was going to be soO smashing Zoun, and then we have maybe our best match of the day, which is Innovation versus soO, and then we kind of find out how our other two lower-ranked players are doing. But Zoun, he beat a player of soO's caliber, and he did it with style and novelty. Quick break, guys. Up next, Zoun versus Innovation. We'll be right back.
Meet you at the end.